his ex-girlfriend. Guys, this is crazy. It's being reported that Travis Kelce ex Kayla Nicole set to speak out on Angel Reese podcast.
The bomb that Angel Reese just dropped has NFL and WNBA fans freaking out. Is Caitlin Clark out here playing golf in the meantime? What's happening to these two? Let's dissect it. The deal is as follows. Angel Reese declared that she and Kayla Nicole will be co-hosting a podcast. That's someone you know, right? Vanessa Kelce's previous partner. That Travis Kelce, yes. The person in a relationship with Taylor Swift. People, things are going to get messy. Why are fans so enraged? Just think of the drama that could result from this. Is Reese attempting to obtain inside information about the Kelce-Swift circumstance?
Now, we know Travis Kelce is currently dating none other than music sensation, newly crowned billionaire, Taylor Swift. Yes, the Swifties is going to be on Angel Reese Heinies.
And her career as a basketball player? Will her game benefit or suffer from all of this media attention? But there's still more. Caitlin Clark is acting completely differently from Reese, who is jumping right into the gossip section. You'll be shocked by what she's planning. Off the court, it appears as though they are engaged in two entirely different games. What will Clark do next? Watch this space to find out. Speaking of different games, Reese may incur additional costs beyond court time as a result of her podcast play. The WNBA's future for her and the fervor of her fans, it's precariously perched. This is the cause of everyone's panic.
WNBA star and Cambridge ambassador Kayla Clark set to appear the Anika driven by Cambridge at Pelican.
There are major repercussions from Angel Reese's decision to launch a podcast with Kayla Nicole. Fans ought to be thrilled, right? False. Fans of the WNBA are going crazy, and not in a good way. Why? Because Reese's injury and loss of Rookie of the Year coincide with this move. What a case of mistimed events. But timing isn't the only factor. Supporters fear that Reese is prioritizing her celebrity over her basketball career.
24 Rookie of the Year and Cambridge ambassador Kayla Clark will participate in a series of tournament week festivities at the LPGA Tour event taking place November 11th.
This podcast is supposed to receive millions of views after all. That is very significant. But if it means giving up her game, is it really worth it? The problem is that Reese appears to be strongly gravitating toward the life of a celebrity. And even though that might be fantastic for her social media following, some are doubting her dedication to the game of basketball. Is becoming a famous person off the court more important to her than on it? Let's dissect it. You have the chance to get a lot of exposure on one side. Millions of people are observing to hear Reese's remarks. Such a platform is extremely serious. Conversely, though, what about her abilities on the court? Is she working as hard to get better at her craft as she is to get more attention from the media? Not to mention the possible drama. Here, we are discussing the ex-girlfriend of Travis Kelce. You know, the guy that is with Taylor Swift right now? There may be some serious gossip sparked by this podcast, but is Reese really hoping to make a name for himself like that? Supporters differ. Some people are in favor of Reese expanding and establishing her brand. Others, they fear that this could be the start of the end for her WNBA career. Is she concentrating more on interviews than honing her jump shot? They wonder. Without a doubt, this is a dangerous play. Reese has the potential to be a formidable player on and off the court if she can manage her media endeavors with her sporting obligations. However, if she falters in her game, things could get ugly at that point. There is a significant and genuine backlash. Reese is facing accusations from certain fans that she sold out and prioritized fame over the game that initially brought her this far. Her freedom to pursue opportunities outside of basketball is being defended by others. This is a contentious debate that shows no signs of abating. As Reese's podcast drama develops, another WNBA player is becoming well-known in an entirely unrelated field. Sports fans are scratching their heads over a bombshell that Caitlin Clark recently dropped. Is she going to hit a huge home run, or will her career take a nosedive? You'll be shocked by what Clark is capable of. She is hitting the links in addition to the basketball court. Yes, Caitlin Clark is scheduled to play in the Anna Driven by Gridge LPGA Tour event. The shocking thing is that she's not merely observing. In addition to being a panelist, Clark also plays Pro-Am. Nor is this merely a one-time occurrence. We are referring to a significant LPGA Tour event that takes place at the Pelican Golf Club in Bel Air, Florida from November 11th to 17th. And here's the thing, Clark isn't just there to use his club. In addition, She is attending a women's leadership summit. What a brilliant move. But this is where the interesting part starts. Clark is participating in a pro-am event. It's accessible to everyone. Fans will thus be able to witness her in action. She seems to be inviting people to witness her abilities off the basketball court. Quite audacious, huh? You may be asking yourself, what's the big deal about a golf tournament at this point? The winner of this LPGA event will receive an incredible $3.2 million, let me tell you. That's a big sum of money. It truly demonstrates how financially women's sports are becoming more competitive. The crucial question, though, is whether Clark's golfing endeavors will benefit or harm her basketball career. On the one hand, this might increase her marketability. That is, a gifted athlete who plays both golf and basketball well, that is quite remarkable. On the other hand, some supporters may be concerned that she isn't giving her primary sport enough attention. The way that Clark's move contrasts with Reese's strategy is what makes it so awesome. Clark is sticking to sports, while Reese is venturing into the realm of podcasts and possible drama. Off the court, it appears as though they are engaged in two entirely different games. And even more absurd than that, there is no television coverage of Clark's golf tournament. Meanwhile, Reese's podcast is generating a lot of buzz. It certainly gets you to consider the representation of women's sports in the media, doesn't it? Now, let's discuss the actual game changer in this instance. Even though everyone is preoccupied with the drama surrounding Reese and Clark, much more significant is going on behind the scenes. These two could be rewriting the rules for all female athletes, not just those pursuing their own careers. And what are the repercussions? They are enormous. Consider it. Reese is throwing himself into the podcast and celebrity rumors world. Millions of people are watching her, but are they doing so for the right reasons? Conversely, Clark is demonstrating that she is more than just a basketball player by hitting the links, socializing with LPGA pros, and playing golf. Off the court, it appears as though they are engaged in two entirely different games. This is where things get really interesting, though. The podcast with Reese, it's exploding. Everyone is discussing it. There is enormous potential for viral moments and widespread exposure. However, Clark's golf match, it has a purse worth $3.2 million. That's a significant amount of money at stake. It's similar to comparing apples and oranges, except that both fruits appear to be quite juicy. You may be asking yourself, so what? They are simply going about their business. However, it goes beyond that. These decisions may influence how athletes in the future handle their careers. Do you focus solely on your sport, or do you branch out and establish your name off the field? This is a question that has the potential to transform women's sports. Let's dissect it. These days, everyone is talking about Reese's podcast. It's all people talk about all the time. However, Clark's golf match, not even television is covering it. You think that's crazy? A WNBA player is competing in a significant LPGA event that is largely unknown. It truly raises questions about the long-term effects of these various strategies. The truth is that Clark might be positioning herself for long-term success in the sports industry, even though Reese is currently winning the media race. When everyone else is playing checkers, it seems like they are playing chess. Who, though, is acting more shrewdly. It's not only about them either. There are other athletes observing. These two stars are traveling entirely different routes, as they can see. Some people might try to emulate Reese and gain viral fame. Clark may cause others to ponder, hey, maybe I should expand my athletic skills. It appears as though they are drawing up two distinct plans for achievement. There's a catch, though. What happens if Reese's basketball career falters but her podcast succeeds? Or what happens if Clark's golfing endeavors greatly succeed but she becomes distracted on the course? Every female athlete is paying attention to the risks these athletes are taking. Okay, let's finish off this. Angel Reese is causing a stir in the podcast industry and garnering a lot of attention. And there's Caitlin Clark proving she's more than just a basketball player by swinging a set of clubs at an LPGA event. Two very distinct routes, yet both creating waves. The crucial query is this: which action will benefit women's sports the most over time? Reese's publicity bluster or Clark's multi-sport strategy? It's no longer just about them. Each and every young athlete is observing, making notes, and planning for their own future. How do you feel? Which is preferable? Honing your athletic skills or going after that viral fame? Post your ideas in the comments section below. It's clear that this is not the end of the story, and we will continue to closely monitor Reese and Clark. Folks, this is just the beginning of the game.